even know this show's going on. Because the reality is, I may not get to know you, okay? You may not get to know everybody on this planet, but I got a surprise for you. We're all connected. That's right. We're all connected on this planet by frequency. We're all connected on this planet, whether you believe it or not, okay? So whatever the planet's going through, yeah, we'll get affected. But the thing is you don't want to get infected by what's going on this planet. What am I trying to say? Well, you know that I'm always telling you to mind your own business. I'm telling you to watch out for gossip, because gossip is usually not true. And even those people who think that they know what's best for us, that are scaring the living crap out of us, that's not being best for us. You know? Ask yourself, what's my agenda? What's the agenda of a lot of people out there? What is it that they're trying to accomplish? Are you being supported in a Braveheart way? If you keep listening to the same person and they keep scaring you over and over again, and they make you feel like there's very little hope or nothing in this life, it's not true. I have to tell you that I feel really, really good about the future. I have to tell you that if it wasn't this COVID situation, it would be another situation. We needed to bring up our vibration. We needed to clean up our act. Oh, and believe it or not, we're all actors. And believe it or not, most of us don't know that we're not our real authentic self. You'll know when you're your real authentic self, when you're connected to your breath, when you're the creator of almost every moment that you get to experience. Is somebody else creating your day? Because you'll know, because you won't like what you see. You may like some of it, but you won't like a lot of it. Understand something. If you truly knew what you were, that you are an infinite being having a physical experience down here on this planet. I don't know what happens when we go from this planet. I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I do know one thing, that I'm here right now with you. I'm in the present moment. No matter what's going on, you need to stay in the present moment. And you have to understand something. They are going to create chaos. They are going to create conflict. And you cannot be bothered by this. When there's the more chaos and the more conflict that there goes on around you, you must leave it. Whether your family can't control themselves, whether a city can't or the world, you've got to mind your own business. You can't make yourself sick because of things you cannot control. If you could mind your own business, that would be looking after your health on an emotional and physical level. What would that do for your family? What would that do for your family if you were stable? Completely stable. Wow. I can't believe that you're not bothered by that. The reality is do not use the litmus paper test of your family or your friends, because most of them are just on the bloody edge. You know, most of the time, as long as things are going good, we're kind of okay. But as soon as they're not going good, we pay. Now, understand something. I have a course coming up in California, which will probably be canceled because it's in November. People are going, how can you say that? Well, they're not done with us. They're not done playing around with us. And if you actually think that the people that are pulling the strings on this whole thing actually give a damn about you, then you haven't even listened to one thing, and that one thing is your feelings. Because the more that you feel uneasy, the more you would understand that that's their agenda. So here's the deal. What can you do to gently and lovingly prepare yourself if they create a second wave around November. And if they run that wave for 2 to 6 months, what could you do? Where are you going to be emotionally? I don't want to talk about this anymore. We're going to answer questions today about health on an emotional and physical and nutritional level. I just wanted to bring that up. This wasn't to make you feel fearful. This is just to say to you, they're not done yet, okay? When the bully's having a tantrum and they don't get their way, and they've been getting their way forever and a day because people will just do whatever they say, they're not done making our sandbox into a kitty litter. And I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to be quiet. But at the same time, I'm not going to cause a riot inside myself and make myself sick. Because whether you believe this or not, I mean, I'm going to verify it here later today, but I just heard that the gentleman that actually invented the COVID test said that this never should leave a laboratory. This was never meant for human testing because it won't work, because it'll show that 80 to even 90% of people are positive for COVID, when he says, but the test is not accurate. It's not accurate for testing whether people are sick or not sick. Anyways, I just found out this morning, but I will confirm it to my best of my ability. But I heard that he's no longer alive. I don't know why, but isn't it kind of funny, eh? He went publicly just a few weeks ago and said, stop using the test. He told the government to stop. He told the CDC. He told the WHO, World Health Organization. And now he's not around? But I'll confirm it. So the reality is this. Are you going to mind your own business? Are you going to calm down? I know that after I finish the show today, I'm going with some of my family that's visiting, and we're going to go bowling. And then I'm going to go take a walk downtown by the lake, and then I'm going to jump in the lake. And then I'm going to come home, and I'm going to sleep like a baby. And you can say to yourself, wow, isn't that just great? Well, understand something. Where the mind goes, the body follows. And when you learn how to master your mind, and you learn how to master every moment, because your power is only in the present. As soon as you're somewhere else, you've just given it away. Let's talk about answering questions here for people. All the videos that are not posted, okay, on YouTube will be posted on BitChute, just letting people know. All the links to your take action information. So anything I talk about today, whether it be like, can you ask them to bring in the flip chart? Okay. All the links to your take action information will be posted at the end of the video. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about my free masterclass in Braveheart, my free masterclass, A to Z wellness masterclass. If you haven't done the emotional and physical masterclass that I've created for you for free, which most people will be charging for, that's where you need to start, okay? You know, you can always tell how much somebody loves themselves by what they're willing to do for themselves. Now, you can say that's selfish, but let me tell you something. That whole love is the answer. It's just a bloody ingredient. It's what you do with it. If you don't know about self-care, self-love, self-respect, self-honor, self-protection, then you're not ever going to be able to teach that to your children or anybody else around you. I am here for one reason and one reason only, to show you that if you do total self-care and unconditional love for yourself, that you do not poison yourself, that you do not go to hell, that you are not a sinner, that you are not a failure, and you're definitely not selfish, but you're selfish enough to know what you need to be complete, so that you aren't trying to be a parasite like a lot of people out there and suck the love out of people or suck the money out of people. I just want to shine that what I have on people. So send in your questions live today if you'd like. Okay? Right here, see? A couple have already come in. one from Tracy, one from Cathline, one from Wendy, one from Shary. Okay, so that's great. So send your questions in live on Facebook, Intercom, YouTube, and I'll be answering those first. Now, just so you know, if you want to come up here for personal treatment and training, we can send you a letter, and you can actually come here for personal treatment and training. Did you know that? So if it's regarding health, you're allowed to come to Canada, okay? And also, just so you know, we will be doing personal treatment and trainings in the United States. We'll be my trainers will be in California, starting around the beginning of September for about 20 days. And then we're going to Maryland, and then we're going to a couple of other states. So if you've always wanted a personal treatment and training, let us know. We'll come there. We'll teach you how to do our body work. Wolfe non-surgical, which is the most powerful therapy in the world, I'll tell you right now. We can teach you, and when we get done with you, and I will say this, it's a 5 to 7 day training for being able to work on yourself and your family, and you'll be more powerful than most of the therapists out there. And if you decide to come and take my 21-day certification, whole life coach course, and Wolfe non-surgical, I will put you up against any other health professional out there, because understand something. There's a genius in there. There's a hidden practitioner in there. And if you've always had passion and purpose, and you want to help people, and you want to serve, okay, our great Earth family here, get in touch with me. My extension's number 5, because understand something. You've underestimated yourself, because that's what they've done to you. And we're going to give it all back to you, okay? Enough is enough. Enough of the BS, enough of the dysfunctional programs on how you need to go to school for years and years to be able to help your brothers and sisters and your own family, okay? And if you think that getting treatment is going to help you, you're crazy. It's training. And if you think that another practitioner is going to heal you, it's temporary. You need to become the practitioner. You need to become the hero of your story. And that's the God's truth. If you want to know what I'm up to, go to the events page on Doc of Detox. And next Wednesday, this Wednesday, we have on the 13th, Calcium Ion Nutrition live. It's a live Q&A with Jay Lee. I will show you that SEC calcium is the only patented calcium in the world, the only one that can turn on proper bone making and breaking, and how it has worked on almost every autoimmune disease all the way to cancer, okay? All right. Next thing, the following Wednesday, I'll have the High Wire with Del Bigtree, and it's called The High Wire is on Fire, and that'll be on Wednesday, August the 19th. You don't want to miss that. Just letting everybody know, the Orlando course has been canceled because I said, well, if they're going to close the beaches again, I'm not going. No, that's not true. The reality is that the hotel said, there's no way this is going to happen. It's too unsteady down here. And like I just said, I don't know if it's going to happen in California either, to be honest with you. But right now it's booked in November. Okay, everybody? We do have courses coming up here. If we don't have a course in November in California, we'll probably hold another one in Canada. And the other thing, too, that I was going to say is this. Whole Life Coach certification will be going online this fall, okay? Because we are not going to let them undermine us from getting you the information on how you can master your mind and your cupboard and your fridge, okay? And how to master your health right from A to Z. So we're going to have the Whole Life Coach online, and I'm not sure. I don't have any other updates right now. Okay, so let's get to it. Tracy? Oh, the sale. Okay, yeah. We have a Doc of Detox birthday sale started around noon today, I think, and it's on for 48 hours. And I know the daily cleansing teas for sale. Oh, the 5G, the bodyguards, and the rest of the crystal EMF guards are all on sale, and there's other things. If you're not on our email list, I would suggest you get on there, and you'll always find out what our sales are, okay? All right. Next, let me see here. Tracy, what causes hyperhidrosis? Okay, abnormally excessive sweating that's not necessarily related to heat or exercise of the trunk, not underarms, okay, not feet or hands, but trunk and groin area, not blocked up anymore as I go 3 times a day. Well, first of all, you are blocked up, even if you do go 3 times a day. It doesn't mean that the cells have all cleansed. You know, most people don't know this, Tracy, but in every cell, there's a spine, there's a liver, there's a kidney, there's a colon. Every cell is the same as the human body. And all of your cells need to regain their health again. And understand something, whether you believe this or not, every thought, okay, is a frequency, holds a frequency. And every frequency triggers chemical and hormonal responses all the way down to your mitochondria, which create the ATP, which create the energy, which create our healing. Because, let me see, a 75-kilogram man needs 85 kilograms of ATP a day. And understand something. If you've got sweating in the groin area, your abdomen area, I hope you know something. That's because you're on fire. Okay, like the high wire, except a little different. So you're on fire because the sweating, okay, is the detoxification. It's the same thing as when a woman is going through menopause, okay, and she's having these hot flashes. Hot flashes are mini fevers because she didn't open up her liver, her colon, her kidneys, and detox after the menopause. When menopause starts, because the period slows down. So then we have to have these mini fevers to burn off the infection. Okay, so now what you're having is you're having trunk fevers, trunk and groin fevers, which show that you're still highly toxic. You know what? I can talk till I'm blue in the face. But if you come here and learn how to do the Wolfe non-surgical, or you come through a personal treatment and training or through certification, or you just get some treatments done, you're going to find out that you've got tons of physical blocks in your body. Did you know that a healthy specimen, somebody who exercises, an athlete, will have up to 10 blocks in their body? Now think about it. 10 beaver dams on the river is going to slow up circulation. It's going to jam up things. You know, the average so-called healthy person has 20, and a person that has a chronic illness and cancer can have 30 blocks in their body. That's why when people try to get well and you go to a specialist and they look at one part of the body and they try to fix that one part and they don't look at the body as a whole and unblock those physical and emotional blocks in the person, it's only temporary. Or they get sicker and the drugs get more powerful. So no, you're not detoxed. So if you want, you can give us a call. But I always tell everyone, why don't you get a perfect day consultation for $125? $25 towards the product, and you get lifetime support no matter how often you call. We will respect you. And understand, we want you to call. No texting. It's not great. You know what? No emailing, not to me. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear where you are emotionally, okay? The condition of the patient is more important. The condition the patient is in is more important than the condition they have. And that is law. That's universal law. So where are you today with your emotions? Okay? I can guarantee you that if it's a problem with your nose or the tip of your toes, it's first started off emotional. Yeah, but what are you talking about? I stubbed my toe. Yeah, where was your mind when you stubbed your toe? And I could do that with every other condition. Okay, the invisible always creates the physical. Cathline, I have been doing the gentle daily cleansing tea for 3 weeks now. It is great for moving the bowels. I have been getting a metal taste in my mouth and was wondering if it's from detoxing. Yeah, it's actually the metals that were actually locked inside the intestinal tract. Remember something. When you start peeling the layers of toxicity off the lining and from the tissues, remember something. It's a hothouse down in your large intestine. And remember, hot gases rise, right? Hot air rises, right? Hot air balloon. That's why people in the morning will say, oh my God, honey, please don't kiss me. Your breath, it smells like somebody pooped in it, okay? All right, in your mouth. And that's because somebody did. You did. When you actually breathe and you're laying around and you've got bowel congestion, those poop particles get in your mouth. Whether people believe it or not, it's not gum disease. It's bum disease that causes gum disease, okay? No dentist will tell you that much, will they? They're not going to tell you that you need to take a brush at the other end, not this end, but we're not going to take a brush. But we could do like a coffee enema. We could do the daily cleansing tea every morning and night and always do that, and then we'd never run into a bad breath, would we? So understand something, that heavy metal taste is just the toxicity being released. That will go away. Keep it up. Just make sure you're drinking a lot of structured water. Make sure that you're trying to do as much of a whole plant-based diet, because we need that fiber. Because remember something, the best thing for your garden, which is your large intestine, is the fiber that is the undigestible fiber that really ferments. And by the time it gets to the large intestine, it's the best compost in the world to create the good bacteria, which is 85% of your immune system. So it will come, okay? It will come together for you. All right, Cathline? Wendy, is it okay to take a multivitamin when taking SAC calcium? First of all, let me just say this. The best multi-mineral vitamin antioxidant in the world is my Synonian Minerals. Check it out. 147 nutrients in there. This is a really master supplement. And when you take SAC calcium, because it's ions of calcium, do not take anything a half an hour before you drink it, and do not do anything a half an hour after you drink the SAC calcium, except water. You can do as much water as you want anytime, but nothing else. No supplementation and nothing but water. And if on the talking about water, listen to me. If you've got mucus congestion, if you've got a cold or a flu, or you're worried about getting a cold or a flu, I don't care if it's the summertime, if you're paranoid or you just have a lot of mucus congestion, then you should be drinking hot water. Cold water constricts and causes the mucus in you to get hard, and that's where any virus or bacteria or fungus or worms, they all love that stuff. So what you want to do is you want to liquefy it. So let's have hot water, not enough to burn yourself, but definitely hot water first thing in the morning. I tell people anywhere from 8 ounces to 16 ounces. I try to do 16 ounces of hot water in the morning before I do anything else. And then I do hot water again at night. Okay, we want to melt things up. We want to move things out. Okay, heat expands and opens things. What does cold do? It constricts them. Okay, it also helps you to sleep. All right, which a lot of people are having trouble with because they haven't learned how to master their mind yet or their thoughts. All right. Let me see. Shary, what causes rosacea? Well, what causes rosacea? Well, I'll tell you right now. People don't want to believe this, but it's stress, and it's damage of the good bacteria in your large intestine. That's what I say. Okay? And that's what I believe. And I've seen that over the years. So check that one out. Yevet, hi doctor. In the Perfect Day diet, it said we should stay away from nightshade vegetables. Can you explain for me? I love peppers. Thank you. I wasn't telling everybody to stay away from it. Only if you have if you're really acidic, but you'll know that. Okay, I'm in pain all the time. I've got fibromyalgia, or I've got some type of autoimmune disease. Okay, I'm running headaches all the time. So people like that are running high anxiety, high stress programs, high acid, and the peppers can set it off. But listen, no, okay, it's like staying away from lectins. All right, there are so many things out there that I just don't agree with. When I said that, don't go over the top with it. If you have no trouble with nightshades, then why would you have them? And here's the thing. I just want to say this. I got a gut feeling is way before anything you read. Okay? Start really tracking yourself. How does that make me feel? Now, it's not going to hit you. Okay, so fruit, we know it digests pretty fast. So in 20 minutes to 25 minutes, you're going to know if there's a certain fruit that bothers you. Vegetables, maybe you'd know about 35 to 45 minutes. With things that you have to cook like beans and lentils, it could be an hour later. I mean, you could get gas pretty fast, like 20 minutes, if you haven't got enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach to break down the protein. If it's like a concentrated vegetable protein or animal protein, you'll get the gas part. But hours later and even the next day, the protein, especially animal products, will turn on you. Okay? All right? It's like this person texted me, and I apologize if you're on, and she said, what do I do? I ate chicken salad. It was sitting outside in the heat all day. Okay, well, I want you just to understand this. I'm not picking on you, but dead animal products are not food. And they have to be eaten if you're going to eat them, like fish and chicken and meat, pork. If you're going to eat them, which I don't want to, thank you very much. But if you're going to eat them, you got to eat them as soon as they're cooked. You can't let, and when I say this, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to dramatize, but it gets it in your head. You can't let a dead animal sit out in the heat because it's breaking down. Right away, bacteria is building like crazy. And then that's called food poisoning. So, yeah, it's pretty dangerous. You know, the thing that I would tell someone is do therapeutic vomiting if you knew it right away, because if you can get as much out of your stomach as possible, you would take like, and this is actually a thing, right? You would actually get warm water and you'd drink about, believe it or not, let's try to drink at least 2 to 4 glasses of warm water. Then you would massage under your tummy and go like this. And then when you start to feel nauseous, you would take 2 or 3 fingers, put them in the back of your throat, and guess what? You keep your fingers there as the water comes up, and now the acid's not going to burn your throat because you've watered it down, and you get all that acid in the toilet. Get all of that, whatever that's putrefying in your stomach, in the toilet. You know, when I was younger, I was more emotionally out of balance. I would probably have to do therapeutic vomiting because I was in the health business maybe once every few weeks, you know, because I was so nauseous in my stomach. I couldn't digest something emotionally, and I also didn't eat something that blood type A should, because with blood type A, which I am, you know, we don't have the ability to digest animal protein very well, okay? So we're just not built that way. Like O types can digest animal protein better, but the reality is the carcass is still rotting in them. The thing is, like with A type people with A type blood, you'll find if you are, because you're going, things bother me a lot, kind of, especially animal products. I don't seem to digest them. I can eat once, and then if I eat an animal product tomorrow, then I feel sick. Well, yeah, because we don't have what it takes. Now, an O-type can digest it, but the problem is they don't get the symptoms. They just go to the doctor a few years later, and the doctor goes, yeah, you got a tumor the size of a cantaloupe in your pelvis. So the reality is you're going to pay. It's all karma. You know, I don't care if we've been doing it forever. I think we've spilt enough blood on this planet. And I'm not for the animals. I'm not against the animals. I'm not for humans. I'm not against them. What about just honoring and loving and respecting everything that we possibly can? And do you know how these animals are treated? Oh, mistreated, you mean? Mistreated. And the reality is, you know, human beings actually think they're free on this planet. We're not free. I mean, even taxation is a fraud. There's so much that's a fraud. You know, money's the illusion. I mean, take a look at it. Your kids go to school for at least 12, 13 years, and they come out of there, they can't read, they can't write, they can't spell, and they don't know about loving themselves or anyone else. They can't even make anything good to eat. They can only skip the dishes. So the reality is understand something. The whole thing is a bloody farce. I mean, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers created every bloody book that our children read from kindergarten right through till they graduate university. Okay, so we're continually programmed. If I was a father and did it all over again, I don't care if my children ever go to school, because I would teach them about loving, honoring, respecting themselves and every other human being and every other animal, every little bug on this planet. And I'd say, look at, all we're going to do is make sure that you can add, read, and write, and then I want you to live your passion and purpose, and you won't need anything else because you'll be the hero of your story. And that's the God's truth. And you can say, well, you're just saying that because your kids are growing up. And I'm saying, no, I'm awake now. Thank you very much. And you know what? Our kids were homeschooled. But the reality is I would have taken it a lot further. But in the last few years that my kids were going to school, like I said to my kids, is this. You know what? To get through school and get a passing mark, you know, I consider you to be a hero, because I don't like that stuff. I know what that stuff is all about. Just start working on your passion and your purpose, and let's talk about it, and you're going to have a great life. You know how many people have busted their hump to go to school, learn the golden rule, do what they're told, and they go to university, go 150,000, 200,000 in debt, and now they're slaves. The whole slave system. So like I said on a one-a-day the other day is, I'm not trying to be a rebel. I have just as much right to be here as anybody else, everybody else, and so do you. And the day that you take that back will be the day that you're not worried about having a virus, okay? You better be starting to think about how you can work offline for a few more months. You better start thinking about how you can empower and embrace your family with unconditional love, okay? Because that's where it's going to be right there, all right? If you've got an anxiety problem right now, if you've got a problem with your temper, how's it going to work when things get worse? Are you going to become the terrorist for your family, or are you going to become the Braveheart hero that goes, we got this? You know, we'll see, eh? Because we will get tested. All right. Amy, what is happening when you had freckles since you were a kid? Now you have white spots among the freckles. It's all a pigmentation problem. And I would definitely tell you that you need to start skin brushing and doing salt glows, and then do the clapping, okay? Can you tell them to bring a clapper in here too? Okay? So that's the reality right there. And understand something. When it's got to do with skin, oh, you're just going to love this. Dr. Wolfe doesn't know much. He keeps saying the same thing. It's your good bacteria in your bowel. Did you know that the good bacteria in your bowel are the most important living organism in the body, your human body? You have 50 trillion cells, but you got 500 trillion bacteria that are loving you and wanting you to love yourself, okay? But it is the skin issue is a bowel issue, but I would work on the face. Let me tell you something. I've had people have had white spots, brown spots, red spots, they're called red flags, all kinds of conditions, skin cancer. And by doing just the things that I talk about, the skin brushing, the salt glows, the clapping, take personal action, massive personal action. Let me tell you something. Be the hero here. Be the practitioner. You know what? When you tell me you don't have the time, you don't have the money to start making steps, I know you do. Let me tell you something. That case of beer, that alcohol, the bottle of wine, the cookies, the ice cream, the processed foods, look at the money we waste. What if we really, really, truly loved ourselves and we got rid of everything in the house, all the chemicals, right? Let me tell you something. We are so sucked in buying things. So anyways, everybody, get your clapper and you got to break that clapper in. But I'm going to be showing, tomorrow we're doing a DIY. I'm going to be doing little DIYs Facebook on clapping, and I'm going to just do little ones for now. And I'm going to start from, well, I'll just pick a certain part of the body. I don't know. I think what I might do is I might start from my head and work my way down. But then we're actually going to do a professional masterclass. I've been writing it, but I'll tell you something. It is so busy right now, okay? Even though business is down in certain areas, it's way up in others. And where is it way up? People losing their mind, okay? All right? So anyways, the skin, remember, love the skin you're in by monitoring what you put in your mouth and your mind, okay? And know that your bacteria in your large intestine are responsible for more things than you think. I'm going to go through this really quickly. But here's the deal. It's the craziest thing, eh? But your bacteria are really your second brain. Now, what happens here is there's not hardly anybody out there, very few people that don't have infection and inflammation in their lower abdomen and pelvis. Now, here's the deal. That is the holy grail of everything. So we have actual scar tissue, crystallization, calcium blocks in there, and they don't allow the energy to be picked up in your root chakra. Now, all the way through your spine, which is your telephone pole, you have nerves coming out. Those nerves are attached to organs and tissues around your body, everywhere. They're attached to everything. So what happens is your spinal fluid picks up more light, more communication, more information than any other fluid. And it picks it up from your sternum, otherwise your pelvis, all the way up to your brainstem. Now, that information is being picked up on what shape every muscle, organ, tissue, everything is in. That goes into the spinal fluid, goes to the brain. Information comes up here. It organizes the hormones and the chemicals and the information to be sent back down through the spinal fluid to go where it needs to, whether it's upper chest, abdomen, or pelvis. So this is why we have to get rid of the physical blocks that bind us. And if you've had surgery, or you've had abdominal pain, or you've had bowel problems, then you already are a problem. And understand something. You can change your diet to the perfect day diet. You can change your mind, but if you don't get somebody to go in and break up that calcium, that displaced calcium that's been taken from your bones, and to unravel the scar tissue that's like beef jerky. You ever eat that stuff? That's what's in you. Then you will say, I feel better, but you won't have your flexibility or your strength back. We have somebody that's been here for 6 days. Believe it or not, they couldn't open their hand. They couldn't straighten their hand. All right? And they were losing energy through here. And their nervous system was breaking down. That person's still here. And in 5 days, that person, now, their strength, their energy is coming back. They can open up, they can actually open the lid of a jar. And that person's going to be here for another week. And when they go home, they're going to be back where they were before they started to crumble. Through all the non-surgical work they're getting, the emotional work, the nutritional work, and following along and listening. When you decide that I'm going on a perfect day health adventure with the Doc of Detox, we're going to turn your life around. Whether it's a personal treatment or training, whether you come here for just treatments or you come here to get certified. And if you do want to get certified as a practitioner, we're going to help you set up your clinic. Hear what I just said? We'll even help you build your website. And we won't charge you more than $2,500. We'll do it for cost. The reality is this. You better believe that we're family. And the day that you decide that you want to keep on judging people and you want to have hatred in your heart is the day that you're tearing yourself apart. Carol, will hot water in AM and PM help melt away my right breast lump? No. If it deals with lymph and calcification, I'm doing a lot of stuff already, but have to still dive deeper. Well, yes, you do, Carol. I would suggest you get a consult. I'd suggest you get on the Merigen SAC calcium right away, okay? I would also suggest that you get Wolfe non-surgical around the breast area. But here's the deal. What did I just tell you? If you've got a lump in your breast, or you got a lump in your chest, or you got a lump somewhere else, a lump or a bump, you already have 10 to 20 physical blocks throughout your body. Do you not think, Carol, that if you had a knee problem and you were limping, that would affect the circulation in your breast? Do you not think that if it's in your hip or even in your ankle, or if you think that you, let's put it this way, if we went in and we did Wolfe non-surgical on your spine and we made you 1 inch taller in an hour and a half treatment, do you think that that doesn't make a difference on your spinal fluid and the information and the communication and the circulation and the healing? You know what? Go ahead. You got sucker punched by the medical system. If you think you got a nose problem, oh, okay. I got cancer right here. I got a deviated septum. You know, somebody said to me, I have a deviated septum, and I'm going to tell you something. If I could work on your nose for 5 minutes, I'd prove that you don't have a deviated septum and you could breathe better. Okay? So, and I'm going to tell you that I have done hundreds, maybe thousands of people over the last 30 years where they said they needed surgery and they didn't have to have surgery. Okay? And I'm not telling you everybody. And if I'm wrong, I'll give you your money back. But the reality is I'm right. And I'm everything I say on here, all you have to do is if you have a chiropractor, naturopath, medical doctor, or someone that doesn't believe in what I'm talking about, I will meet with them on my show anytime, and they can come on and we can have a friendly, professional debate on our different views. Let me tell you something. You believe you need surgery. You believe you need drugs because you were told. Let me tell you something. Before there was surgery and it wasn't the latest, greatest thing, people would only get it in emergency cases over 100 years ago. The reality is, as soon as there's something wrong, it's either drugs or surgery. Which one? Cut, poison, or burn. And you don't even know it because you don't think anymore. You just run a program. That's why we're in this bloody mess. I mean, do you actually think that if everybody was like Del Bigtree or Dr. Wolfe or that this would be happening? No, they'd be put out to pasture, these guys. All right. So hot water in the AM and the PM is really great. And you can even do it throughout the day. And then throughout the day, if you want, instead of like the reason why you do hot water, just hot water in the morning and hot water at night is we don't want to stimulate the digestive tract. We want to cleanse it. That's why we're not going to put lemon in it right away. That's why we're not going to put anything in it. I'm not telling you don't have to. If you want to stimulate your digestive tract, but I always come in with the first glass of water, which is about 12 ounces, and I'll just come with straight water. And then after that, right after that, I do the SAC calcium. Then after that, I do the daily cleansing tea, and then I actually put, what I put in is lemon lift into it, essential oil, into my daily cleansing tea, and then I drink that. That's my schedule. You'll learn to do what you do. And then I haven't done it in the summertime, but come wintertime, I'll make a quart, or fall, let's put it that way. In the fall, when it starts to get a little cooler, what I'll do is I'll take like a quart of water and I'll put about 2 tablespoons of really good raw honey into it. And I'll put about 2 lemons squeezed into a quart. And then but only put in what you want for flavor and how it feels to you. And then I'll put a pinch of cayenne in, and then I'll put it in a thermos, and I'll drink that throughout the day. So that's the greatest infection fighter, and it's inexpensive, okay? And the reality is people will always say to me, well, Dr. Wolfe, so many people can eat right, but I can't afford it. Let me tell you, if I were to track you for the week, no way are you just eating Kraft dinner. I guarantee you, if I were to add up all your grocery bill and we were to go out because of those processed foods and other things that you believe you can't eat right, and let me tell you something, the God that created you, you know what? You create everything you are. You create the impossible. You create the miracles. So if you don't believe that you can create anything, you're not going to. But then that is called victimitis, isn't it? Just saying. The reality is, if I were to track you for a week and see what you were eating. And then we take that money. I guarantee you that you can go and eat a fresh and raw diet, and you can even be doing juicing. Because understand something, you have to eat 6 times more food to get any nutrition out than eating right. I eat usually one big meal a day, and then I'll have a blender drink. And I haven't been juicing. I don't do a lot of juicing during the summer. I just do water. And then when the new carrots come, and I'll do a lot of carrot juicing during the winter. I really like doing that. Really stabilizes me. Instead of going and having cooked food and cooked this, the carrot juice gives me a lot of energy. Okay? Is drinking coffee good or bad? First of all, don't drink coffee first thing in the morning. Look, here's the deal. It's not about good or bad. Coffee's a stimulant. It doesn't generate its own energy. It steals energy mainly from the liver. It excites the liver because it's a bit of a toxin, so it stimulates the liver, and the liver and then the liver goes, and then you feel like you've got all this extra energy. But the reality is this, guys, I got to be honest with you. So I like to have a coffee in the morning, okay? But the reality is I'm not going to have it first off. If you have a coffee first off, then chances are you're going to have anxiety and the other thing is do you run your water through a structure unit? Because right off the bat, when you make your coffee with structured water, right away you've protected yourself against any of the chemicals and stimulants. Now, the reality is you'll still get the buzz, but it won't be a zzz. And then if you take black gold, let me see here. If you take the black gold, and when you grind your beans, and then you put a level tablespoon of black gold on top, when it drips down through, oh my gosh, what an amazing cup of coffee. So, and then I also put coconut oil in my coffee. So there you go. So is it good or bad? Well, the reality is I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs, okay, and I don't drink alcohol, and I really don't do any sugar, and I don't do flour products. So the reality is a cup of coffee is good for me. You know, I like a little buzz, you know. I'll tell you, if I wasn't in the health business, I don't know where I'd be. Man, I'd be addicted to so much stuff. The reality is that, first of all, I just want to, my heart goes out to everybody. If you're not in the emotional, nutritional, physical industry, and you don't, what can I tell you? I think you're a Braveheart hero, because out there it is just a big fat lie. They try to poison us through our water, our air, our food. Forget TV. That has got to be the most toxic, disgusting thing on this planet. Okay, so just know that. So if you are the average person, majority, you know what? My heart goes out to you. I'll tell you right now. It really does. Okay. Okay, the questions are starting to come in here. Any possible link between my scoliosis and Sibo? Sibo is a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. You know, they shouldn't have called it that. You know what they should have called it? Even though it's in the small intestine, it should have been called large intestine backup. Okay, that's what it should have been called. They make that into short form, because what actually happens is that the fecal matter is so dry, glicky, sticky, gooey, like the food you ate, or if you're Miss Stress Queen or Mr. Stress King, then the acidity dried everything out and it inflamed everything, so it got dehydrated. And we call it the ileocecal valve, which is right on the right side, just above your hip. And what happens is it doesn't get through, and the valve gets stuck open, and the waste and even worms and bad bacteria can go back through into the small intestine. That is the major problem with Sibo, and people don't get it. If you were to do the daily cleansing tea morning and night, you did black gold in your blender drinks, and you did tummy love in your drinking water, 85% of all the problems you suffer from would be gone, maybe more. And that's the truth. because the large intestine is the holy grail. And why would you let things back up and then do a deep cleanse? Who in the heck wants to make their own manure pile, feel like crap, and go, I think it's time for a cleanse? Why wouldn't you just have the perfect day every day so that you can have a beautiful day every day? It's all about energy. You know, if you get sick, you need energy to get well. Oh, wow, there's a bit of a problem there, right? Okay. Let me see here. So, Sibo and scoliosis, is there any? Yeah, oh my God. Millisa, you're like a genius. You're a genius. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, the large intestine, the transverse colon part of it, just comes underneath your ribs if it's where it should be. But with most people, it falls down like this, like a U, okay? And it should be right across like this, but then it gets lazy and it falls down. So now, but here's the deal. There is no infection in the human body that didn't come from your large intestine. You're reabsorbing your own poop. Did you hear what I said? That's not from the small intestine. Yeah, you can get leaky gut, but the biggest leaky gut is the large intestine. We know that. Why do you think prostate cancer has gone through the roof? Bladder infections, scar tissue in the fallopian tubes, not being able to have children, endometriosis, fibroids, tumors, ovarian cysts, bladder infections day and night. Oh, I can't poop anymore properly. Oh, 50% of all women are dripping in their underwear because they're urinating. Just drip, drip, drip because the valve is shot. That's because we have pelvic rot. And understand something, scoliosis, stress out, and the scoliosis is worse because of the inflammation caused from the adrenaline and the cortisol going in, creating an acidic environment. Because when you have so much inflammation from the acid and the chemicals, it creates beef jerky, which means it shrinks muscles, tendons, ligaments. And when they shrink, it twists things. You got to be twisted here before you get twisted here. So you're absolutely right. Scoliosis, S-curve, right? And when you back up waste and when you absorb waste, where are you absorbing it? Right in your gut. And what do you think it hits? Your spine. I just love this. I love where people go to a chiropractor every week to get adjusted. Meanwhile, they're never going to keep a straight spine because the tendons and ligaments become like beef jerky. So every red light, every little emergency just pulls the vertebrae out of place. And guess what it is? Displaced calcium and scar tissue. So the more scar tissue you have, the more scoliosis, the more herniated discs, the more slip disc, which there is no such thing. Where'd it go? Did it fall in your underwear? Let me tell you, there's such a big scam jam. And even the people out there that are doing the natural therapies, they don't deal with scar tissue and displaced calcium and crystallization. And guess what? That's the root of it. We have been so sucker punched in the health industry. That's why I give a money back guarantee. Because you know what? Put your money where your mouth is, Darrell. And the reality is, don't go around telling people that you believe that you have that could turn them around if you're not going to give them a guarantee. And that's why I do it. It's not to be cocky. It's not to bring more business in the door. It's to tell you that you got sucker punched like everything else. Did you ever notice that the manual of life, it gets you kind of excited, and then it's like a lunch bag letdown? Yeah. Okay. Adriana, hi, Dr. Wolfe. I've been doing the tea cleanser for a week and a half already, but at the beginning I was doing good. Then I feel loaded after a week. I feel my stomach full all the time. Why? Please help me. Well, because you have to increase the tea. So the reality is, if you've only been doing the tea for a week, we know that when you started to take it at the regular dose, which is 8 ounces in the morning, 8 ounces at night, and just so you know, people, 2 bags of our tea makes 1 gallon. That's enough for one person for a whole week. Now, that's if they don't have like a super lazy colon or it's not twisted or backed up, which is Most people have that problem. But the reality is I'd say 70% could get away with the regular dosage on there. I would tell you, Adriana, to go to a 3-bag tea. And what you're doing, everyone, is you're doing the daily cleansing tea. That's the daily cleansing tea. And actually, the 1-year tea is on sale right now, 25% off. That's as good as it gets with that. But the reality is what you do is you get a gallon of water. Hopefully, it's structured water. It's the only water I believe in, to be honest with you. The only water. There's other good waters, but structured water is what nature makes, and I follow the law, and that is the law. Now, so what you do is you get a gallon of water, bring it to a boil, and then you turn off the burner, put the 2 tea bags in, and then you put the lid on, let it sit for 8 to 12 hours on the stove, just simmering, just with the hot water, not the burner's completely off, right? Let it sit for 8 to 12 hours. Then you take the tea bags and the tea, put them into glass containers, stainless steel, whatever you want. Put it in the fridge. Then you do 8 ounces in the morning, 8 ounces at night. When you first start, just do 4 ounces in the morning, 4 ounces at night. And what you're looking for the first few weeks is you're looking for 2 to 3 bowel movements like a cow plop. So when it hits the water, it kind of falls apart, because we want to make sure that we're cleaning the lumen, the inside of your colon, which is about 7 feet long, right? But you'd be surprised what's going to come out. Now, you want to do that for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then you want to start just taking the right amount of tea twice a day, that your stool starts to form, and you have at least 2 really good bowel movements a day. Okay? So just so you know, there's no stimulants, no laxatives in my tea, and just so you know this, I've been taking my tea since I was 28 years old. Morning and night. I might miss the odd day, but hardly ever. And the reality is I was, I'm 64 now. And the reality is I've got a flat tummy. The reality is I never feel like beep diddly deep. You know what I'm talking about. So, if you don't want to feel like crap, then don't fill yourself up with crap. If you don't want to feel like crap, stop eating crap. If you don't want to feel like crap, then don't listen to people and their crap. Do you understand? Okay, it's all crap. So here's the deal. We got to make sure we detoxify our mind and we detoxify our body. The large intestine is the first and foremost to do. So when you were doing the daily cleansing tea, you started it and the looser waste started to come. But because of the mucoid and the old plaque and waste, I mean the old stuff, the stinky stuff, it wants to come now, and it's saying, give me more energy to get this out. So do a 3-bag tea, and then do the 8 ounces in the morning, 8 ounces at night for a while. Okay, and also maybe take a look at getting curcumin cayenne 5000, black gold, and tummy love, and you are just going to go, hey, Dr. Wolfe, you rock. No, you rock. Okay? That's it. Carol, did that one. Would using a massage machine on a breast lump help loosen it up in addition to other protocols I'm doing? No, it won't. But I will tell you that the skin brushing, the salt glow, and the clapping, and the clapping's a really big deal. And I'm telling you right now, you gotta get Wolfe non-surgical. I know you don't want to hear this, but the reality is, I'll tell you a true story. Okay? So anyways, there are cancer clinics throughout the world that are natural cancer clinics. And the reality is one of the top ones in the world, I was talking to the head doctor, and believe it or not, this clinic's been open, and he's been into cancer now for almost 30 years. And when we got talking about my philosophies and his philosophy at a dinner table, he kind of, in the back of mind, something, but you really don't think about it properly. He never thought about scar tissue and tumors like the way I explained it to him. And that, here's the deal. So anyways, they said, oh, well, you know what? We've got 8 doctors I need to get this taught to right away. So then he went to the board and he talked to the board, and guess what the board said? If you bring Wolfe non-surgical in here, you'll ruin our business. Are you getting that? So let me just say this, that, You can have really positive thoughts, and you can do like a whole plant-based diet. You can do juicing. You can do fasting. That's all going to help. But when you've got a hard lump that is calcified and it's fibrous scar tissue, you need to lovingly go in around the area, pull things apart, because it's like fibers really stuck together, and you want to know how to do it. And then you can use the clapping, because understand something. Everything that is a disease there's a physical block in your body. There's nowhere in your body, there's nobody that has any type of pain, inflammation, or illness that doesn't have a block. So you got to get that. So can you overcome your illness without getting rid of the block? Yes, but the thing is you will be. If I had a rope and tied a knot in it, it's shorter. So your flexion, your extension, your strength is all going to be weakened, and eventually you're going to tear out, or eventually that block is going to bring you down. That's that. And that's the way it is. I mean, guys, we're physical human beings. And yes, you can change your mind and create more empowering thoughts, change your diet, reduce the inflammation. But what about the scar tissue? What about the displaced calcium? And that's why we think that when we get old, we're supposed to get old. Do you know the one thing I hear about all the time? Dr. Wolfe, it sucks getting old. And I go, yeah, it does, and you don't have to. Okay. Lynn, hey, Doc, my 85-year-old mom but I will tell you about the massager, if I could say this. Where were we here? Carol, if we go in and we pull the fibers apart, the massager will really help then, because it keeps the circulation going so the fibers don't stick back together. There you go. Lynn, hey, Doc, my 85-year-old mom just told she has cataracts. Well, understand something. See the blue light here? It's on these lights. It's on here. I don't have my glasses here today, but let me tell you something. When I'm not doing a show, and sometimes when I do a show, when I'm doing practitioner training, and even on Q&As, when I can't take it and I feel like it's too acidic, I will wear my Teslas. And your mother needs Tesla glasses. If you're on a computer more than, you're going to love this, guys, more than a half an hour, you're doing brain and eye damage every day. More than a half an hour. So that means if you look at your phone, if you look at an iPad, if you're in a mall with blue lighting, LED lighting, if you're in the airport, if you're in a dentist office, so it's an iPad, it's your TV, it's when you go to the movie theater, all of this is blue light, and they didn't have to do it. Why are they poisoning us? Why are they doing this? Because guess what? Because those that run the world, they're not human beings. That's all I'm going to say. Let your mind just run away with itself. Okay? Let me see here. Lynn, hey, Doc, my 85-year-old mom just was told she has cataracts. Okay, and that she needs surgery. Well, I'll tell you this much. If she gets, we have somebody here now going through a personal treatment and training, and they were partially blind in their eye. And guess what? And so the eye was like this. Here, let me see. Like this, kind of squinty, like this. And now the eye is open. This has only been 6 days. And they can see more out of this so-called partially blind eye. And this person here is in his 70s. Are you with me yet? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? So he's using Bright Eyes. He's using Silver Bullet Spray. He's going under the Bioptron light, which everybody should own. Everybody should own one. And I'll tell you why. Take a look on my website because his eyesight's coming back. But the reality is we have somebody else, and they came for treatment, and they went and fractured their ankle, and they were supposed to get 2 plates, one on either side, with screws and pins. Now, are you ready for this? So that was only 7 weeks ago, and what they've been doing is shining the Bioptron light on and doing SAC calcium, all right, and also a few other nutritional things. I don't want to get into that, all that stuff. And anyways, so it's been 7 weeks. They were told that it was going to take, even with surgery, 6 months before they're walking on it. Okay, that person is now 7 weeks. They're walking on it with just a walker cane, walking on the foot. So don't you think that when you're told that this is as good as it gets, it's not. What they should say, hey, with my training, this is as good as it gets. That's right, because practitioners have limiting beliefs. And if you want to go to these so-called specialists, then guess what? It's not going to turn out well, because it's called whole body healing, not partial body healing. It's called letting the body heal. It's not called just going in and doing surgery whenever you bloody well can. It's letting the body heal itself. Okay? I can give you thousands of case histories, not one, thousands of case histories of people that were told only way this is going to happen is through surgery. And it didn't happen. Cathline, I have no gallbladder. What's your opinion on digestive enzymes? What's my opinion? My opinion is that if you're going to keep eating bad, you're in trouble. What I would suggest you do is start taking HCl, hydrochloric acid, at any types of foods where fatty foods or animal products. I'd suggest you look at learning how to food combine. And I'll tell you right now, if you do not get on a protocol that supports your large intestine, you can expect getting bowel cancer, rectal cancer, or some kind of growth or terrible disease in your pelvis, because the bile that you no longer make that came from your gallbladder that broke the fats down are going to just wreck your large intestine. And when that happens, you're going to lose its integrity, and then it'll be like a screen door in a submarine, and you'll be leaking waste into your pelvis to beat the band. That's what I say. So the reality is this, that gallbladder is so important. You have no idea. You know what? It's like this. Most people will take insulin tablets or injections with adult onset diabetes, and the only reason why that's happening is because you just want to keep on eating badly. Because even with adult onset diabetes, you can usually turn that around in 6 weeks, 3 months at the most. Okay, and anybody who gets their gallbladder taken out, it's like okay, now I'm not going to get any pain from my gallbladder. The only reason why you're getting pain from your gallbladder is because on an emotional level, you are holding on to anger, because not everybody that eats the foods you were eating would have gallbladder attacks. So there was some kind of anger. And I'm not talking about going around beating up people. Maybe you're angry at yourself. Maybe you're angry at the way life is. Maybe you're angry at the way the world is. I don't know, but anger is a killer. And anger gets stored in the gallbladder and liver. Okay. What do you recommend for a headache? Water. Lots of it. And I'd recommend clapping. Okay? And but water. Structured water. And also tummy love, so that you could really absorb the acidity and any infection that's in there, because tummy love is a combination of humic and fulvic, and it's actually the perfect combination for situations like COVID. And I tell people to do at least a tablespoon of tummy love each and every day. Make sure, not less than that. Make sure you do the daily cleansing tea and the black gold, and then you will just give COVID a kick in the butt. That's what you're doing. So as far as the headache goes, well, yeah, water, structured water, and also learning how to do the Lionheart breathing, 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Get yourself a love band, life band, and just go, I got this. I got this. Stop reacting. Stop responding when you don't need to. Just calm down. I guarantee you, what sets the headache off is stress. Okay, and it's there's called taking massive personal action, and sometimes taking massive personal action is called connecting to your breath and just minding your own business. And remember something: you want to put a fire out, use water. You want to put a headache out, use structured water, because it has the greatest hydrating and nutritional delivering ability and helping to get the toxins out. Okay? And also remember something. I don't know anybody, when you're constipated, you usually get a headache. Yeah, when you got to cork up your butt, it usually bothers your head. So I would tell you to do that as well to start. You can also look at curcumin cayenne 5000, because if you can bring down the inflammation, then you're not frying your brain. And I will tell you right now, whether you want to believe this or not, but headaches and eye disorders, hearing disorders, brain disorders have gone through the roof since blue light and 5G are turning on. So blue light and 5G is going to cause more headaches, more eye disorders, more hearing problems, more sinus problems, because this is like the nose goes to the eye, the nose and the eye goes to the ear, okay, and they're all kind of connected with the brain. And understand something, when you get cataracts, you don't get cataracts because of the eye, you get cataracts because of the brain, because the brain can't stand blue light, it fries it. And because it destroys the endocannabinoid system in your brain, which is for pain. So you're knocking that out. And that endocannabinoid system also creates hormones to make you feel at peace. So what happens is if you get an overconsumption of blue light, your brain actually creates cataracts to try to dull down the blue light. Whereas, can you tell them to bring in Tesla glasses? Whereas as soon as you put on Tesla glasses and you have a headache, I don't care from what, you put them on, the headache comes right down. There is so much blue light all around, and now 5G is going to be going right into our eyes like a frequency. But if you wear Tesla glasses, you are going to stop the 5G, and you're going to stop the blue light from coming into your eyes and frying out your brain. I'm telling you right now. And there's only Tesla glasses, not blue blockers. We don't want to try to block it. We want to change the 5G frequency and the blue light frequency into healing. You know what? When you wear the glasses, it's not protecting it. It's actually going to change these frequencies and harness them to actually heal your eyes and heal your brain. Go figure, eh? Who would have thought? Anyways, so we've got you can go look on my website, go to EMF/energy, and you will see these are Tesla glasses. So as soon as I put them on, I can feel the calmness right now because of this. But understand, I'll be going along and feel a little bit of a headache, and I'll go, oh my gosh, because usually I have them hanging right here if you've watched my shows, but I forgot today because Mondays, everybody loves Mondays. Anyway, so, but the reality is, guys, these things are lifesavers. They're expensive, but they're lifesavers. You try these glasses, okay? And if you work on any kind of computers, you look at your phone all the time, or you watch TV, or you walk into a mall or anything, start wearing these and tell me your whole life doesn't change. Tell me that your eyes don't burn. They're not dry anymore. The headaches stop, okay? Tell me this. Even if you have glasses or you wear contacts, you're going to have to change them eventually because these glasses will actually help to heal your eyesight. So take the glasses, take the Bioptron light, get silver bullet spray, and get Bright Eyes eye drops. And guess what? I'm going to tell you, your eyes are going to get better. But if you're an alcoholic, it's going to come up against it. If you're a drug addict or on pharmaceutical drugs, it's going to come up against it. Yeah. And if you are a sugar addict or a flour addict, because there is no flour that's good for anyone. There's no sugar that's good for anyone. Okay, so understand that. Understand that things that never used to bother us, they didn't bother us because because we didn't have corporations and government people poisoning our water and our food, our air, and our minds. So now that you've poisoned all those things that would never bother us are now bothering us. Go figure. Listen to me. Feelings before words. Don't you dare listen to anyone. Don't you let anybody promise you anything. All right? If I promise you something and I don't follow through, then you come after me. And you do that with everybody else too. And that's it. You know, until you want to demand your rights as a human being, not a human doing, they're going to do to you what they've always done to you. Okay. Tracy, what do you mean by physical blocks? Are you coming to UK? maybe be next year. I don't know. I don't know when I'll get there. You know, the reality is this. Every time I make a plan, see, here's the deal. You got to understand. There's a very few people that are screwing up everybody's plans. But the reality is I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get frustrated. I must have booked probably about, I don't know, right now I've got about 6 tickets I got to use going different places in the world. So I'm not going to book anything to go anywhere or make any plans except plan on being here with you and you with me. And together we'll set ourselves free if we take back our destiny, which is totally unconditional love for ourselves and each other, and not letting these people lie to us anymore. All right, Charlene. She asked me if I what? No, UK, I'd love to come. And physical blocks. Look at guys. Let me show you this. First of all, go to my library, okay? Go to my library and go into my library and click on the perfect day and watch the perfect day video. And then go to, I think it's page 38, and go look at the perfect day diet. I'm not telling you to do it. It's a good place to start. Then you might want to get a consult for $125. Next thing is, that's our diet. Now go to the Braveheart Way. Okay, now the Braveheart Way is a master course. I mean, this course is, it's like, what is it? It's 40 hours of video, and there's Q&A questions to answer, but it's to teach you for the first time on how to unconditionally love yourself and to trust yourself and to truly let yourself off the hook and to truly live the life that you were promised. But you're not going to have that if you're not willing to rewire your brain, not your mind, because your mind's your spirit. Where is your mind? You could think of it in your toe, and you just don't know where it is, do you? Because it's all around you. It's in you. It's everywhere, okay? Because we're everywhere. But your brain, you got to rewire that brain. You got to get rid of the dysfunctional belief programs that have been programmed into you day and night by mom, dad, the church, the TV, your friends, and your teachers. They're all programmed. I mean, God, like I said, when a child gets out of school, they're so dysfunctional, okay? All right? They don't even know how to love themselves, feed themselves, can't add, can't read, can't write. But oh my God, they better go to school. Well, no, thanks. We really don't need to poison our children now that there's 5G in schools and tons of blue light. Thank you very much. All right, and if you're going to send your kids to school, remember, you better buy lamb underwear, which has silver in it for your girls and your boys, because your little girls, and boys, their ovaries and their testicles are going to be fried like raisins. Do your homework. Okay. So Braveheart's about emotional. And just to start off with, though, go take a look at my 12 Loving Steps video. And then if you go to the perfect day, you'll see the 4 pillars, which is what? Love band work, okay, which is couples connection or mirror connection, lion heart breathing, okay? So let's get some basic things started. Remember something. Do you know why we're so mentally crippled right now and we think we're dying? It's the end of the world because they repeated it enough. You know, with a human being, we don't run on instinct. We run on programming. You can sell anything to a human. You just have to repeat it enough. Okay? I mean, let me tell you something. What do they call that? The late night buying channels, they've proven that. All right? So the reality is, if you want to be programmed, then go on TV. If you want to master your own program, then come and take a look at this stuff I've put together for you. Okay? I mean, if you're not going to do your own brainwashing, then don't complain and don't explain, because now you're everybody else doing everything else. How's that feel? Okay? And then there's my A to Z Wellness Guide. Now, with my A to Z Wellness, this is a masterclass on the physical body. And what this does is I prove to you without a shadow of a doubt, because I go through every part of the body and every illness, and I show you why it's a calcium, crystallization, scar tissue problem with every organ, muscle, joint problem in the human body, and that you can reverse it. I show you what the medical system would do and what we do. And then you come and challenge me. Just challenge me, okay? So there's your homework. Let me see here. So we'll be going for about another 10 minutes, okay? And then we're going to wrap up because I'm going bowling with my family, okay? And I want you to do something with your family tonight. I want you to sit down with your family and talk about how you all need to become Braveheart warriors, and how anybody that from now on, we got to make a deal in the family. If you start to lose it, I'm going to come over and hug you. Heart to heart hug, heart to heart hug. Or if somebody starts to get angry and they're just going to lose it, they have to go for a walk and they can't come back until they're ready to talk with love in their heart. And nobody's allowed to bring in any more processed poison foods, alcohol, drugs, okay, or anything else new and improved, right? That isn't new and improved. And that's the deal. And you've got to wipe your mind off at the door. And every family, if you've got children, you should meet for 10 minutes every night before they go to bed. No, you can do a bedtime story, but you need to say to them, what was your high today? What got you excited? What do you love? What's your passion? What's your purpose? Okay, and then you're going to say, you know what? This is my passion, my purpose. And then you're going to say, as an adult, today I got a little bit scared about da-da-da, and then I went 3, 2, 1, I got this. And then I realized that it wasn't true, that I can handle this. Did you get scared of anything today? Because they're not going to tell you, because guess what, mommy and daddy? They already know your crap in your drawers, and they don't want to be a bother, because kids are always scared they're going to get given away. It's true. It's true in the back of their mind. And remember something, no matter what your kids break or what they take or whatever mistake, you come from your heart. And you don't judge them. You don't punish them. We need to stop punishing. And I'm telling you right now, the same people out there that are messing this world up, they've taught us to hate ourselves and punish our family. Okay? Everything must come with judgment. And with judgment, everybody needs to go to jail. This is not a justice society out there. Okay? There's a war going on. And it's a war for your spirit. Okay, do you feel like your spirit's been kind of suffocated? Mine isn't. No matter what happens, there's going to be bumps along the road. Do you remember before this whole COVID things how there was people in your family that were always complaining? Guess what? They're not complaining about that stuff now, aren't they? They got something else to complain about. And soon as this does resolve itself, because it will, they'll be back to complaining about that other stuff because they run a complaining program. Understand something. COVID's not the problem. We're the problem because we run a program. Okay, does Del Bigtree have a problem? I don't think so. Does Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have a problem? No. He's got an adventure he's after. Okay, he doesn't go home worried and does... there's just so many people that I know. Ty Bollinger, does he have a problem? No, but the government's making problems for him. Does Del Bigtree have a problem? Oh, yeah, they're making problems trying to shut the truth down. I mean, these guys, they will come up against adversity. They keep trying to take these guys down. Most people are taking themselves down. Love yourself. All right. Okay, we're what we're going to do here. We've got how many questions? Quite a few. 22. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up today because I'm not going to let my family down. Don't you let your family down. Okay? And you might say, well, it's just bowling, Darrell. No, it's not. It's the little things in life. It's the little things. I am going to be there for the little things, and I'm going to be there for the big things, because guess what? It's family first. And when you make yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so help you God, for loving and caring, then your family will see you do that. Then they'll go, yeah, I guess it's okay. Maybe I'm not as bad as I thought. And maybe it's not selfish looking after myself first. Oh, yeah, like someone else is going to do it. Let me just say something right now. I want to thank you all for everything that you've done for your family, for yourself. All right? But but I need you to do more for yourself. I need you to go in and forgive yourself for everything you've ever done or anything that they say you've done. We haven't messed the planet up. They get into our heads. They mess us up. They make us feel like we're bad, we're evil, and then they got to tell us that they got to come and save us. This whole thing is terrible, okay? We are under draconian law. And understand, draconian law, look it up. You know what it stands for? Dracula. And these guys are like Dracula. They're sucking the blood right out of us. Well, guess what? That's only because you're letting them, okay? Don't. Look after yourself, look after your family, and we're going to get through this thing, okay? I will do whatever I can to help you, but if you're not going to take massive action and reprogram your brain, okay, and get on the love train, then you're going to stay on the pain train, and that's it. So I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you're interested in a consultation, please just go to my webpage, click on consultation, and let's get this thing started. Let's create a perfect day for you, okay? All right? And if you want my Quick Start 7 empowering steps, go to quickstart@docofdetox.com, and just know you can get my Healthy to 100 book free. All you pay is the shipping. And don't forget, everybody, every Monday I do a live Q&A. And what we'll do this week, I promise, guys, if you follow me, I will do all the questions. There's 22 of them, right? So if there's any that come in tonight or tomorrow, I will do it and just post that up. We'll do a live show, won't we? We'll just, I don't know when, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay, do we have anything on Thursday? No. Thursday, live Q&A, 3 o'clock. How's that? Done. That's when I'm coming back. And I'll do those 22 questions and a couple others if you want, okay? Let me see what else. When watching on YouTube, just click the bell to enable notifications, and you'll never miss a show, guys. Okay? And listen, tell people about my show if you think that it's going to change them or help their lives. All shows, okay, are time-stamped, and then they go into YouTube the next day. And also, if you want to listen to the audio of any show, please go to iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud. God bless everyone. Take back your power to heal. And remember something. 3, 2, 1. You got this. You're bigger than this. Change your mind. You change everything. Change your personality. You change your reality. Okay? I'm going bowling, and we'll see you on Thursday. God bless. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.